views expressed on this program are those of the producers and individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Sun Prairie Media Center staff, its video service providers, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
You are now watching the Alan and DJ Show.
Yo, yo, yo! Milwaukee, Sun Prairie, and all the surrounding areas. I know what time this is. It's time for the Alan and DJ TV show program. And I'm Alan.
And this is your boy, DJ.
Oh, childhood started? Oh, man. So, DJ, man, I'm feeling good today, man. You know, how you feeling, Dirty?
I'm feeling good, man. Why you feeling good, man?
Yeah, because lately, you know, me and Bambi, after the last show, we starting to get an emotional connection.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because
like
we
that.
listening to each other, and I said, Bambi, it's not all about you being in leadership, and it's not all about me. We got to do this as a team. We got to collaborate. And she was so emotional. She was talking in her deer language the other day. And, you know, we got deer meat the other night, and, you know, we ate some squirrels and we talked. So I said, you know what? I want to do a show on this one today. So we're going to talk about specific ways to identify an emotional connection in a relationship. Mm-hmm. So without further ado, we're going to bring this to you the way the Alan and DJ show's accustomed to bringing it to you, because it's just what we do. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about key behavior indicators, DJ, which brings you to bullet point number 1, active vulnerability.
Oh, okay.
So break that down for us, man.
All right, man. Like, basically, like, the reason why this is so important is because, like, it shows that the person is comfortable and letting their guard down around you. It also leads to, like, more expressed emotions and physical activity.
Most definitely, because both parties can feel comfortable, not sharing fears, secrets, deep thoughts, without being in the fear of feeling like they're being judged or because sometimes you have judgmental people.
Absolutely.
And when a person is being vulnerable with you at this stage of the game, where like, okay, y'all have like an emotional connection now, and they saying, yo, you know, I used to be homeless my whole life, and, you know, I never, you know, thought I could share this with anybody. I've been through some most traumatic trauma experiences that I'm not even going to go down those rabbit holes, but because you'll never know what people been through, you know. But, you know, she just feel comfortable with you at this point, and he may feel comfortable with you at this point of sharing his deepest fears and his deepest secrets.
Absolutely. The crazy thing about, like, vulnerability is, like we said on the last show, like, it basically, you're giving up the control to another person, but you're also, like, leaving yourself open to either rejection, or you're leaving yourself open to also feel some type of pain or hurt if that person, like, tries to use that information against you. But also what vulnerability does too is, like, it basically opens the door to show your flaws and weaknesses as well.
Most definitely, because at some point it gets to a point where, you know, you have to say, dang, you know, like, either this person going to judge me and still love me for who I am, or they're not. But I don't know if I don't try, you know. But I feel like you will know, because you guys are going to be at that point where, you know, he opening up to you, now you're opening up to him, and y'all really don't even know that you guys are having a emotional connection together. So that's how I look at that.
Absolutely.
And bullet point 2, high responsiveness. So how's this important, DJ, when it comes to like an emotional connection?
The reason why this is important, because it shows that their attraction level is extremely high, and they want you for some reason to keep it elevated. It's kind of like a drug, where, like, you constantly got to keep it in your system, and if you keep it in your system, you're constantly high and you're constantly motivated, or whatever the case may be. As opposed to, like, if you're without that person, you lose that not only that emotional connection, but that high goes down.
It really does. It's like a dopamine.
Yep.
And, you know, they are ARE. So I'm going to break these down. ARE means accessible, responsive, and engaged. So turning into each other for like in a words to like provide support during like distress. So you guys are so engaged that I could just know what she's gonna say next, or she just know what I'm gonna say next. And you know, sometimes if I'm going through things, she might let's say provide support, and she could like I could be going through the most traumatic situations. I could have had my car repossessed, and you know I could have been late on the rent, and I'm just going through some things. It's like this can't get any worse.
Yep.
And my job, and let's say like your boss wrote you up, and you're like, man, she's there to be that supportive ear that you need, like that listening ear. She opening up her heart to you.
Absolutely.
And that's where she's being accessible, responsive, and she's being engaged in your life to say, okay, baby, what can we do to get past this? What do you need from me? That's how I look at high responsiveness.
But the crazy thing too, Al, about high responsiveness too is like when that person has that emotional connection with you, when it comes down to that, they stop looking at the physical.
Yeah.
And then they respond to you really quickly. They're basically like a dog sitting at your foot, basically ready for you to lead and take command. And they basically respond to you anywhere or at any time. Meaning like if they're at work and you call them or text them, they're gonna pick up no matter where they're at.
Right. I had son, the phone barely ring. Hello? You're like, dude, yeah, you really
Like halfway
responsive. That's right. Like, you really responsive. Like, very high responsiveness. You're like, dang. Or so you send a text, another one come right back. You like, but bullet point 3, constant communication.
Oh, this is a good one too.
So when having an emotional connection, DJ, why is this constant communication is important?
Because like it expresses the need to like keep the connection, and it also like expresses emotions that they feel, plans, present and future that they want to have with you, job, and sometimes relationship goals, and sometimes likes and dislikes about you, also leading up to like sometimes you're so mysterious that out of curiosity, they just want to communicate and ask you questions.
Yeah, because, like when it comes to that regular, daily, or even near daily, like contact is maintained rather than being specifically unpredictable. Rather if you're having ghosting behaviors and you like, dude, I just talked to her last night, or I just talked to Alan last night, and Alan, I don't know, what are you on today? He ain't been responding to me all day. So, it's making her think, and her mind is running, like, now her mind's on to wander all over the place. And then they start to think, okay, maybe this person is on games, and I don't got time for that. So when you constantly stand in communication, then always say, what a person know, then they won't assume. But what a person don't know, they're going to assume. Yeah. So if she haven't heard from me in 5-6 days, she's just assuming I moved on with another chick, or, I got a big rotation. I'm playing games where about you could have been at work. You could have been like working on your purpose. Could have been working on your grind. Could have been in the gym. But it doesn't take much to have constant communication.
Absolutely. Because
if you do that on a regularly, hey, baby, look, I'm letting you know when I get off of work today, I'm going to go hit the gym for a little bit. I might go shoot some hoops with the fellas for a little while. Like, I'm going to be home about 6:30 or 7. She knows what's going on. Versus, like, you having ghosting behaviors, you know what I'm saying? Being too mysterious, like, she going to flip out.
Absolutely. And you made a good point earlier, Al, about when it comes down to communication, is that, like, you're basically like an open, like for the most part, you're like an open book. Like you basically telling them like all the details of like pretty much your life. But at the same time, like if you lose with that emotional connection, they stay tied to you. But they start to lose that connection when you're not communicating on a regular basis. Meaning like they're so used to that pattern that once that pattern is off, or you go a couple of days off that pattern, now because they have that emotional connection with you, now they're discombobulated.
Yeah. And that's why I always say, you know, like, when was the last time you talked to him? Or when was the last time you talked to her? Or, you know, all of a sudden now, you know, she flipping. Now, especially women, you know, women go crazy. Emotions all over the place. But that's because at one point in time, you might have been in constant communication with her, and now you're doing something that's totally different, or, you know, you're listening to people. Hey, man, ghost her, dog. You know, you got to do this, you got to do that, man. That ain't always necessarily the case.
Yep.
So remember, what a person don't know, they're going to assume. And bullet point 4, active listening.
A lot of people need to do this.
Yeah, big time. And so why is listening important when it comes to like an emotional connection?
Basically, like this helps the person respond to the message that is being said, actually. And then, like, when you have an emotional connection, you use the other. Like, sometimes you could use the other body parts to basically listen to a person.
That's true. Like, body language gives away everything.
Yeah.
From the way you're sitting, from the way you might be paying attention to me, versus somebody might be like, yeah. That means they really don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, they really don't want to be there, or they disengage. So I just say, just don't try to hear each other. Really try to hear each other. Really, truly listen. And also validate each other's feelings. You know what I'm saying? Say, dang, you know what? I can see why you felt like that. I ain't think about it like that. Or, you know, I would have looked at it from that standpoint too. Or, man, if that was me, I probably would have felt that way as well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I, you know, ghost you like that. Or, you know, you felt like I did, you know, because that's not my intentions. But I can see why you feel the way you feel.
Absolutely. And, like, I'm not going to say, like, the dating coach name, but, like, this one dating coach that I actually, like, listened to, he said this one saying, and a lot of people is going to agree with this. Basically, he says, language exposes who you really are. And I feel like that's really true, because like what language does is, like, you can, like, when you say something, you can identify flaws in that particular language. Meaning, like, let's say if I say a lot of slurs and a lot of cuss words, that basically means that I have a low vocabulary.
Yeah, like, you don't have a big vocabulary at all.
But as opposed, like, as it ties into emotional connection, I could say, baby, I love you. And when I say it like that, now, because you have that emotional connection, now you like, oh my God, they really feel it. As opposed to me saying, oh, I love you. Now that's a different tone of voice. Now it comes down to tone and pitch.
Right. That's true, because it sounds like it's being forced.
Yeah.
Then rather than, you know, it's just like organically or naturally just happening.
Absolutely.
And then bullet point 5, comfort and silence. And I'm going to take it from a standpoint of, like, being in each other's presence without needing constant conversation, feeling at peace rather than feeling awkward. So she might just want to she might come next to you and just lay on your chest. And you just rubbing her hair, and y'all just chilling, you know, like y'all watching a movie. That's comfort silence to me.
Absolutely. And when it comes down to, like, comfort and silence, like, basically comfort equals vulnerability and opening up about their lives, basically.
That's true. So when she come to you and she just, or you come to her and, you know, you just like holding her, you know what I'm saying, while she cooking, you know what I'm saying, you don't saying much, you know, you just giving her soft kisses on the neck. That's comfort in silence.
Absolutely.
And, you know, she feel like, dang, you know, like I needed this. And sometimes, like, that could be a person's love language. Like, show me how much you love me. And here it go.
Absolutely. And also when it comes down to, like, comfort, it gets a person out of their comfort zone, meaning, like, they're more talkative, meaning, like, they were silent, but now they're expressing themselves more and more, which meaning, like, you're tearing down that invisible wall.
And, you know, and, like, I would have tied this into a bullet point, but I'm going to say, like, as, like, for men, for an example, a strong indicator is when, like, to me, is when he opens up about his true emotions. And as men, traditionally, we socialize to support them. Like, other signs is when he makes you primarily the focus. and instead of making you like not the focus, and he's not multitasking and looking elsewhere. And for women, she may show you intense care for you to for like health and safety, engaging in frequent isolation thoughts, communication, checking in, and y'all taking that initial time to make plans together.
Absolutely. And like when it comes down to like for a man, for me, when it comes down to emotional connection, basically the man go after physical intimacy.
That's true.
Yeah. And as opposed to like women, when it comes down to an emotional connection, they want the emotional intimacy first. Then they seek the physical, which is for the men, it's reverse.
That's so true. So now we're gonna tie this into the Alan and DJ's final thought. So DJ, what's your final thought when it comes to like an emotional connection?
When it comes down to emotional connection, like I done witnessed a lot of this in the past, and like I should have kept the connection going, but like I haven't. But like I was young, so I didn't get a chance to like,
sure.
but I live and I learned from the mistakes that I made in the past, and now like that I know these signs, now I can move forward and be able to like seek out the traits and like in an emotional connection when it comes down to a relationship.
I agree. Like you guys just being silly together, just having like inside jokes that creates like a synergy between you two. Us mentality, like baby, it's us against everybody. Acceptance of flaws and safety and security. And once you guys do that, you just became the very best version of yourself. Now this is the Alan and DJ Show. You can find the Alan and DJ Show at gmail.com. Once again, if you have anything that you want us to talk about next, also find the Alan and DJ Show on YouTube. And also you can find us on our fan page on Facebook. You can find our producer extraordinaire, William J. Smith, on Instagram and Facebook, and yours truly, Alan Hutchinson, on Instagram and Facebook. Until next time, build that emotional connection like I'm trying to build that emotional connection with you guys, and as well as DJ trying to build it with you guys. We're going to stay well. We're going to stay healthy.
Peace.